It is the 8th day in the month of May 2024. Might I also add that you can get across very quickly. Go to the YouTube channel, go to the Twitter handle, go to the Facebook page wall, give us a like, give us a following, give us a subscription. In other words, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a following as well via the Twitter handle, and see what's going on in the studio right here. As the studio is lit, and the studio, of course, has my guest, in the studio. We'll be having a conversation on the burning issue, the matter that is on ground that many of us are talking about. But just before I jump into all of that, there is a need to bring to your eardrums the fact that the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has directed commercial banks to suspend the processing fees on cash deposits and until September 30, 2024. Well, this decision is coming after customers expressed concerns about the introduction of a 2% processing fee on deposits above 500,000 naira for individuals and 3 million naira for corporate accounts. Well, the CBN initially introduced the fee in December 2019, but has now extended the suspension of the fee until the end of the third quarter of 2024. So this move is actually aimed at alleviating the burden on customers and promoting financial inclusion within the country, right? And well, in another development though, what this means should be the fact that, according to the central bank, smaller banks should not take extra money from people when they put money in their accounts. Before, people had to pay 2% extra money when they put in 500,000 naira or more, and big companies had to pay 2% extra money when they put in 3 million naira or more. But now they don't have to pay that extra money until September 30, 2024. So the Apex Bank wants to help people and make it easier for them to use their money. Well, in another development though, the workers group, Nigeria Labour Congress, is very unhappy with the new cybersecurity levy introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now, they want the government to take it back right away. Now, they say it's a bad idea because people are already struggling with money. Another group that's talking about the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, is also very upset. And they want the government to reverse the levy within 48 hours, or they will take legal action. In fact, they think that the levy is unfair and want it to be taken away. So the Central Bank of Nigeria told banks to start charging this levy on transactions, but these groups are fighting against it. And that leads us to the topical conversational topic for today. That would be Nigeria introducing cybersecurity levy policy. And I have my guest who is in the studio, and he's in the person of Mr. Yeshua Aliyu. I hope I pronounced this one correctly.
Yeah, thank you very much.
He's an economic analyst right there, and he's going to be adding his voice to the discourse this morning. Mr. Yeshua, what are your thoughts about this entire process, this levy?
The levy is traditional in all economies, but cybersecurity levy is a new development in the financial sector.
Okay.
As a result of many factors. Once you are dealing with internet services, once you are dealing with technology, once you are dealing with development finance, there is associated price or associated cost attached to that particular transactions.
Okay.
And these transactions, you cannot avoid them. If you are speaking about digitalization of financial system, if you are speaking about not only digitalization of financial system, but you are speaking of cashless economy, then definitely you have to use facilities that are technologically based. And since it is a wide range technology and people are very have different skills in it, then there is there is danger of people who are very versatile in that technology to abuse that system. And abusing that system requires law. And that is why today you find the situation of cybercrime is increasing worldwide. United States, Russia, China, developing economies, African economies are all faced with these challenges. That if we are faced with this kind of challenges, then what do? The first thing is to exploit opportunities. Opportunities in the first instance is to make a speed in the economic development process. That is one. Second is to try and exploit the gains of that technology. And that is why the levy comes in, because it is a development. 50 years, you cannot talk of cybersecurity, you cannot talk of a cybersecurity levy. But economies, as they are developing, it is exploiting new ways of making money.
But don't you think that this is also an exploitation of Nigerians, especially at a time like this when we have quite a number of things in our hands?
No. We should not go to that limit. The only thing is to look for efficiency. Exploitation of Nigerians has a definition of exploiting on what ground. We are already exploited. There has been legislation going on, and we exploited our time not to check the legislative procedure that brought about the levy. That is where we are getting it wrong. We are not proactive in our legislative models. This cyber security levy passed a legislative process, and we were all sleeping when it was passed. CBN cannot just come because it is an institution to come and levy on Nigerians, because it is backed by law, Central Bank Act. So that is the law that brought about Central Bank, and the law specifies what Central Bank is to be conducting in an economy and at different levels. And we have been quiet for too long, checking the excesses of the bank. But for the levy, no, it's a development process. My contention about the levy is quite different the way Nigerians are looking at it.
So what are your contentions then?
The contention is, now if I'm a victim of cybersecurity, what is going to be my take in the levy that is going to be generated? Because I have contributed for the cybersecurity to protect my money. And in the event my rights are violated, my financial dealings are vandalized, and I become a victim, then what recourse should I look from that fund? Remember, tax has a principle of quid pro quo, returns benefit. Anytime you pay taxes,
there has to be a return.
It has to be
a return. If not, the tax is not valuable.
Yes, it's not valuable. And therefore, also, I see no reason why these taxes will be directly channeled to the Office of National Security Advisor. That's another contention that you have.
Exactly.
About because this. It is a fund. It is an institution that is not prompt to public scrutiny. So if public funds are taken from individuals and now taken to a place that you cannot scrutinize, and it can be used for different security operations. So these are some of the contentions.
Yeah. So what I'm understanding from what you're saying is you're calling on Nigerians to have an understanding of why this levy has to be there.
Why levy? Why cybersecurity?
Why cybersecurity?
Yes.
Which is very important. Then you say that there has to be a returns, especially in the case where something
taxes
happened.
You pay for a state. It has a principle of quid pro quo, returns benefit. If I pay taxes, I'm expecting to be secured my life, my property, and my wealth. I have to get social amenities because I am paying tax. Nobody should stop me from using road. Nobody should stop me from using the internet services. Nobody should stop me also from partaking in an election process. Nobody should stop me from coming to Eagle FM and express my view. This is why I am paying taxes, and that is why there is a state. But we must pay taxes. And remember, tax proponent, expert in tax, Ibn Khaldun is one. Ibn Khaldun is a sociologist, just like Adam Smith, who is more of sociologist than an economist. But they propounded a lot of theories about taxation. And for Ibn Khaldun, there has been a time that he emphasized that at the beginning of dynasty, small tax assessment will lead that dynasty to a higher level. But at the end of the dynasty, that is when dynasty is collapsing, there will be high tax rate, and that tax rate will destroy businesses, will destroy security, will destroy economic well-being of citizens, and at the end the state will be destroyed.
Okay.
So in any situation, what is more important? I am a proponent of state must exist with taxes, not with borrowing.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So it's an option.
So what you're saying is
Yes.
that the taxing.
If there should be more taxes,
Yes.
by government,
Yes.
then there should be less borrowing,
Or
because
if,
you are borrowing on my
if,
behalf.
if possible, no borrowing.
No, you cannot.
There cannot be no borrowing.
In absentia, you cannot.
less borrowing.
less borrowing. Let us manage what we are borrowing.
But there's something you said, that I'm sure quite a number of Nigerians are also having that thought line, and that thought line would be the fact that, look, if I'm paying taxes, I should have returns,
Yes,
right?
yes.
In terms of basic amenities,
Yes.
in terms of being able to, stay within the ambits of the Constitution,
Excellent.
right? For my freedom of speech, expression, and everything,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But then when these basic necessities are not available. If you go to the business sector, we're not finding that conducive environment, especially when you look at insecurity for one, right, which is ravaging the country. When we look at issues that bedevil, the place of even the CBN, trying to see how we can bring the exchange rates, and all of that. When we look at other aspects of the economy, right, Nigerians are groaning in terms of prices of food, the food hike, transportation, the fuel scarcity on the one hand, NNPC saying, oh, the product is available. Marketers are saying something different, that it has been reduced in the volume that they were having. Remember, as last week, the marketers, that's the Itman, had come out to saying that, look, the 10,000 tons a barrel that they used to receive, they don't have it no more. That they've been slashed to 5,000, barrels. But outside there, within the ambit of the international community, the NNPC, had come out boldly to saying that, look, we have the resources, we have the natural gas, we have it in abundance. And then coming back to the local space, NNPC has also said again that, look, there is an abundance of the products and all of that. So when you look at all of these hardships, and then you want to imagine another taxing or taxation system, on the people, even though it might have some good in it, do you still think that this would be the right time to bring about such a taxation? That's on the one hand. Secondly, who would be benefiting more from this taxation processes? Why am I asking this question? Yeah, the reason is this. I hope, and I'm sure a Nigerian listening now is hoping, that this would not also further impoverish the poor, whereby there will be some sort of sectionalism within the society between the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor. These are the concerns, and then we'll head on to the phone lines and hear from Nigerians in this regard.
That is the beauty of capitalism.
Okay.
Once you are operating under capitalist tendencies, there must be rich and there must be poor.
Okay.
But what we are asking for a working capitalist system is efficiency in the administration of finance, administration of social welfare, and efficiency in general aspect of the economy. We cannot be devoid of saying that what is a good time for a tax.
Okay.
There has never been a good time for a tax, but we are all living payers of taxes on different models. We pay indirect taxes, we pay direct taxes. We are not even aware. What people are consuming now is subject to value-added tax. It's subject to
VAT.
Yes, it's subject to VAT. If you are streaming using data, definitely you are paying tax on this program, but you are not even aware.
Aware, right?
Yes.
And there's something you said that while we were sleeping,
Yes.
this particular levy went through the processes.
We are not proactive as people we always campaign after election, and which is very dangerous.
So are you in support of this tax that's ongoing?
I am in support of taxation, efficient taxation, because if you are not in support of good taxes, then you are subjecting your economy to a very bad situation of borrowing. And at the same time, but what I'm looking for, I'm a proponent of efficiency in whatever we are transacting. The financial system, whether I like it or I don't like it, the Naira note, which is produced for me to use it as a
means of exchange,
and deliver my financial commitment, is not without cost. We have been using Nigerian Naira without paying any cost. The velocity of circulation of 10 Naira with you, the government is bearing all the cost. So, but now with the invention of technology, this technology requires sustainability. And if you are to sustain the technological base of network services, of efficiency in discharging interswitch operatives, there is payment that has to be conducted. And these are very efficient models which require so much of finances to control. So what I don't suppose at all is a situation where these taxes that are going to be generated are going to be misused, and then the benefit that is coming back to the taxpayers must also take into cognizance in the fact that if my bank account is attacked and my money was drawn after I have paid these taxes, then I can take the security advisor to court for damages.
That's one.
Yes.
But there's another angle. And that angle that you have not really added your voice in that angle. That angle is the angle where, considering the reality that Nigerians are going through now, the hardship, where we have seen sectorial hardship in different aspects, the economically, in terms of fuel scarcity, in terms of transportation, hiking food cost and all of that, you still feel that this taxing is still in the right direction?
How do we come to this situation when inflation is of 33%? Why are we quiet? Why are we not proactive? What was inflation last year, over year? It was 22%.
22, yeah.
And it is 33.
Now it's 33, yeah.
11%
increment, in between, yeah.
In between. So the point I'm putting on ground is the fact that, look, we cannot choose to be adamant on development process. If we choose to be adamant about development process, will you remove all your transactions out of bank? You cannot. And if you are to partake in banking system worldwide, nationwide, America has the biggest technology in the world. America has the biggest security, cybersecurity condition around the globe. Poland is has the most porous cybersecurity system in the world with all the technology. But what are the right measures to be used to control cybersecurity? For you to identify those who are making intrusion into this technological setup are known and can be detected. But you use high tech, you use so much of resources to pay expert, not to possibly derail your effort. But what I am trying to emphasize about the condition of the economy, the condition of the economy is as a result of poor policies that we kept accepting as people. Let me give you an instance. When
you said we kept accepting,
yes, as people.
How do you mean? Was it alien influenced?
No.
Okay, not foreign influence.
It's within
internal,
us.
Within us. Okay.
How can I celebrate people that are saboteurs of an economy by giving them traditional title, by honoring them to become our political leaders, by even encouraging them to be our political leaders, when we know that they have one or two deficiencies that disqualify them? This is the indirect way of promoting all these illegalities that we find ourselves today. Let me give you an instance. The economic condition that we are facing today, high inflation, high unemployment. The Bureau of Statistics revealed last year in 2023 that there are over 133 million Nigerians that are subjected to multi-dimensional poverty. Once you have that situation, this was at last year when inflation was only 22.23%. Now today, in 2024, you are experiencing an inflation that is above 33%, and you are paying high cost for diesel, high cost for premium motor spirit, high cost for kerosene, high cost for gasoline. In fact, inflation has eroded everything you have in you, and we keep on keeping quiet. No, supply bottlenecks of food supplies is no longer tenable. Security for farmers to be producing is no longer tenable. All these are social crimes which we promote as people. Let me give you, I am from northern Nigeria. How can you sit? Initially, when banditry started, we started accusing Goodluck Ebele Jonathan politically, and it was wrong. But we know those who are behind cattle rustling. And we choose to be adamant. Instead for us to face the situation, we now align political inclination to it, that Jonathan doesn't want us to fall. Now that Jonathan is no longer in office, we saw clearly that a Fulani bandit is chasing houses from their homes and killing them, maiming them. And these are the people that were producing for us the onion we consume, the tomatoes we consume. These are the people that were settled, and then even the feeding us with livestock. These are the people, but they were eliminated. But however, looking at structural policies on ground, it is my own view that as a progressive Nigerian, I have no problem with taxations that are very, very cogent in an economy. Instead, because some of us who are always careful to advise government, please stop borrowing. We cannot borrow 83 trillion. And we are servicing
this debts. We're just servicing
debt.
Not really paying the debts.
All our taxes is going for servicing what we do, where we do not.
I'm just gonna say this one, and then of course we jump to the phone lines.
Yeah.
Are we not also making the same mistakes as we handled banditry and insecurity? Why am I asking this question? The reason is this. As much as Nigeria cries that we don't have money and all of that, and we have to lean to borrowing from the international organization, the international community, the IMF, the World Bank, and all whatnot, even China as well. There is also, with the new trend of the EFCC going after, some of these humanitarian ministry, we've seen the Yahya Bello issue and all of that. It just tells us that, look, these monies are just with certain persons or people holding back these monies. What about mopping up these ministries, departments, and agencies so that we don't have to put Nigerians through a process whereby, even though it might be the right thing to do, talking about taxation and levies and all of that, whereby we're able to also ameliorate, considering the circumstances, the reality that Nigerians have to go through in a time like this, and then mop up these monies that are still, in certain accounts, across the country. Wouldn't that also help the process?
It will help the process, but we don't have the instrument to do that process.
Okay.
The simple fact about Nigerian economy is that if you are to make a broad examination of the economy with the resources, with the commitment of the resources, and with the inefficiency of the distribution of these resources, you will believe with me that there is enough to make this country great nation.
Right.
For two reasons. If you take Nigeria, today is 2024. 10 years back, let us take our memory. Only 10 years. 2014, the entire budget of this country was 4.6 trillion under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
Right.
But in 2024, we are not talking of trillion, 4 trillion. We are talking of 28 trillion. Look at the massive, the phantom amount of resources. That is one. Second, when you look at debt servicing cost in 2014, it has doubled the entire appropriation of 2014, which is 8.8 trillion servicing debt
alone,
which was in 10 years back. It is a complete appropriation for 2 years. So these are some of the things. And how do we get it wrong? We got it wrong with wrong policies from the central bank, with wrong policies from the political head. We cannot, as people, block our borders just in the name of security. And after blocking our borders, after 8 years, the insecurity situation quadrupled. It has not reduced to any level, meaning that we just decided to shoot ourselves on our foot for two reasons. Nigeria was in a good advantage in 2015 to be using eco currency to administer the entire West Africa.
Right.
That will bring so much of relief to Nigerians, because in West Africa, 40% of the entire economy is managed by Nigerians.
Yeah.
So,
okay, but let me put a peg to your thoughts. Go pay some bills. When we come back, we go full swing with the reactions from Nigerians as well. If we still have the time, we will connect with Mr. Adefolarian Olamilekon to also add some light in the discourse. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
My people, the thing where they happen for my area,
Do you think I will now find out that you have contract to bring fresh girls?
I brought you from the gutters. Who gave you all the connects? MDG who? Without me, you would have been nobody. But
Join Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama every Saturday at 10 a.m. Let us join hands and kick human trafficking out of our communities. I Wish I Knew radio drama, brought to you by MICAT in partnership with the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NATIP, and funded by the Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Hi there. Do you want to know how to get the correct approval or documents for your land and property? Do you need the right information on how you can prevent your building from being demolished? Then tune in to Town Planning Program on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja every Thursday by 4:30 p.m.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
And so we're back. This is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. We're still talking about Nigeria's launching or introducing, or in the process of introducing, the Cybersecurity Levy. And yes, we have our guest in the person of Mr. Yeshua, Ilyas Aliyu, I beg your pardon, Yeshua Aliyu, and he's an economist. Well, we said we're going to be taking your calls, but don't forget that you can get across the social media platforms where we give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day, and we say this on strong authority because we got the bragging rights, and you gave us that bragging rights. Thank you, by the way. Number to call is 0907-353-0044 or 0908-766-8888. And the WhatsApp portal number is 0909-705-4450. Please keep it very short and simple so that we can get on to other family members calling in. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, that's a miss. Well, keep the calls coming through and let us know your thoughts on the matter. Taking yet another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Edward.
Yes, good morning to you, Honorable.
My name is Honorable Edward.
Okay. Welcome, Honorable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate our guest there. But I have some question for him. You know, Mr. President's agenda is to renew our hope. What happened to? I am not against everybody here. Of course, in this government, I am more favorable, but I like being honest. That is my life. What happened to the removal of fuel subsidy? What happened to bosses that were promised, for civil servants and the masses? What happened to the money that was promised to give to families? What happened to the refineries that were promised to build within specified time? No. The government. Hello?
Go ahead.
The government, if we are talking about taxes, I am not in the field. I am not in that field at all. I am not part of it. I want to tell you that is the impact, the reflection on the masses. The Nigerians, as we speak, they don't have trust in any government until proven. If you borrow money and you cannot do anything, you are not saying enough to pay. It's the little one that you take from us who are suffering again. And give it to the same hand.
Honorable,
we should not have that. We don't have trust. We don't have trust.
All right,
so
Honorable.
we can pay taxes. I can pay taxes, but as it is, let's have that trust with our leaders. Once the trust is established, the taxes is nothing.
All right, Honorable.
No amount of money.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, well, that's Honorable Edwards. Let's take yet another call. Then we have you react to this. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Levy.
Yes, good morning to you. What's your name?
Yeah, it's Moses.
Moses, welcome aboard. Yes. All right, Moses, let's go straight to the point. 30 seconds, please.
I want to ask your guys, what is the position of monitoring and reality of multiple taxes under a system of corruption? Number two, how or in what way the tax may have positive impact on ordinary Nigerians when the rate of unemployment is high, the living standard of masses is high, they are all high. What benefit will the ordinary Nigerians have? Because when you look at the former reality of taxes, there is nothing like, in fact, most of our taxes, this transaction, you discover that accountability. So in a system where corruption is high, how can this reality be?
Right.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much, Moses, for that one. Thank you for also keeping it short and simple. Well, Mr. Yeshua.
Yeah.
You've heard Nigerians.
Yes, I've heard from Mr. Moses and Mr. Edward.
Yes.
But what
Honorable Edward.
Honorable, yes. Honorable Edward. And it's a good submission. And one good things that we need to understand, inefficiencies of democracies can only be changed by masses. Okay. No political class can check his own inefficiencies. But what we are speaking about, nationhood and economy of a state, we must be emphasizing on taxation. We have a choice to make. Either to make the system work by monitoring the legislative procedures, by monitoring the policy implementation by implementing agencies like the central bank. For instance, every Nigerian is on his own comfort zone, witnessing the central bank increasing the monetary policy rate. By increasing monetary policy rate, you are increasing cost of borrowing. By increasing cost of borrowing, you are increasing prices of goods produced in an economy. You cannot see it. In just February, 400 basis point is increased. And we are all quiet and we've proved novice about it. And we justify it, for instance. I don't justify the changes that the central bank has done by changing the monetary policy rate because it is increasing general price. Remember, proponent of inflation explain inflation as a persistent, seemingly irresistible general upward move in general price level. That is one. We saw it in February by 400 basis from 18.75 to 22.75, and we saw it in March with another 200 basis asymmetrically.
So if this does not see the light of day, this levy, what happens?
What if it doesn't go the way we are expecting it? We have a choice to make. It's just an opportunity cost of having the levy or facing the cyber crime. And what is the cost effective measure for you to leverage in trying to allow our system or our financials to be exposed to cybercrime? Because cybercrime is not only limited to a particular nation, but remember, the population size matters, the age of the youth of an economy also matters, we have seen the operations of the Yahoo boys. Do you understand? These are young boys who have penetrated, who have never gone school, but they have perfected.
In fact, not to cut you, the EFCC chairman said in one of his encounters, he encountered a 17-year-old boy who just held his phone, got his number, and then accessed everything, even his accounts, on his phone, and he was shocked. He said, he was shocked, and that there is need for proper schooling of some of these young lads because of how sharp they are with the computers and the technologies and all of that, to harness them into doing good with it and not using it for the wrong purpose. We've also seen where a Nigerian actress, Shan George, had come out, to making a video saying how about 3-point-something million naira was wiped from her account, and she started making appeals. So what you're saying in essence is that the benefits of this tax levy would allow to check some of these excesses. Is that what it is?
But not only, is one fundamental instrument that we have to be careful. Tax rate is different.
Okay.
Tax administration is different.
Okay.
Tax efficiency is also different.
Okay.
So all this process, now the central bank has given a mandate in 2 weeks' time. Labour is rejecting, others are rejecting, but we have been paying bigger taxes than cyber.
Okay, let me put a peg to your thoughts, and let's get in Mr. Adefolari Olamilekon. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Thank you, and my very regards to Aliu Ilyasu over there. Thanks for also intervening on the question.
Yeah. All right. So, Mr. Olamilekon, maybe if not, maybe 3 minutes. Let's have your entire take on this particular levy.
I think what is happening to Nigeria economy is what the developed climate over the years have been able to institutionalize when it comes to tax administration and ensuring that government generates revenue from alternative sources. So over the years, we have created for government to have alternative source of revenue apart from crude oil sales, crude oil receipts. But the way government is trying to do it is to also ensure that they be able to tax areas that many Nigerians unexpectedly did not believe that could come, particularly taxing from our financial or our private income that we are depositing in the bank. So that's why many Nigerians are surprised. And we have to say it loud. Nigerians are not afraid of paying tax. What they are afraid of is the looting or the stealing or what has been paid as tax. So that's why many people are very skeptical about paying or what government is about to collect from them in terms of this particular 0.005% cybersecurity charges. Although it is a development that we still need to interrogate, why are we having such charges on Nigerians at this point in time. But from the angle of the government, it's also a means of generating revenue so they can tackle some security issues, particularly on the cyber level as well as other security aspects of the country. But Nigerians just want accountability for whatever government is collecting. They are not opposed to tax collection, but they are only opposed to stealing of money that citizens gather for developmental purpose. And that's why I see everybody is saying, no, we don't want this, we don't want this. But what actually they don't want is the looting of such money, because if you have, can we give account, can we have a record of what has been collected over the years since 1999?
Indeed.
If nobody can give account of it. So that is where the fear is. But I can assure you the Nigerians are ready to pay tax. But what they are not ready to face or to experience is the looting and the exorbitant lifestyle of our police office holders, who are majorly living large on these taxes that Nigerians are paying.
Well, I'm going to ask you one more question just before I let you off. Who is going to bear the brunt of this taxation, process? Because as it seems, many Nigerians are concerned that this might only increase poverty for the have-nots, and that the haves might just be able to continue to live, in the lavish lifestyle as it stands. Who is to bear the brunt in this regard?
I think, interestingly, there are categories of people that will bear the brunt. For me, I don't think the poor of the poor in our society will bear the brunt, because if you ask us, how many poor people who have accounts? How many poor people can transfer money to themselves, ranging from 100,000 upwards? Because we say 1,000, 2,000, yes, they can transfer 1,000, 2,000, which will attract maybe 5 naira, 10 naira. But the one that will attract much of the volume of the taxes that people will be transferring millions upon millions within themselves. So the people that will bear the
Hello, are you there, Mr. Adefolarin?
Yes. Yes.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, I'm there.
Yeah, the people that will be at the brunt, you were saying.
Yes, I'm talking about the categorization of people that will
go
be
ahead.
at the brunt. I've pointed out that the poor of the poor, the poor of the poor who are not financially inclusive in our society, they won't be any brunt because they are not transferring any money to anybody. Even if they are going to transfer any money to anybody, they are not transferring close to 100,000 within themselves because they are poor. They have categorized them to be poor people. So the people that will be the brunt are the middle class who may want to enjoy millions of naira or thereabouts. They may get the brunt who could be paying as high as 1,000 naira, 10,000 naira for transfer of some millions. And those are also get the bigger brunt are the rich in our society who could be doing transfer of millions upon millions of naira and thereabouts. So the categorization is there. But for me, I don't want us to begin to see that the poor will bear the brunt because we already know that the poor doesn't have the money to do the transfer. It is between the middle class and the upper class and the rich among us that will bear the brunt. Get it? So and what this could mean at the end of the day is that some people may decide not to be doing online transfer of money anymore.
Right.
Exactly. So that could be for it. But on the other hand, is to also not to attract unnecessary insecurity within us, whereby people now begin to keep millions of naira at home to attract the kidnappers or attract armed robbers and the rest of them, or to attract at the end of the day when maybe a house got burnt and someone lost all his money, or there's a natural disaster and there's challenge receiving such amount of money from homes, they get it. But definitely it is the middle class and the rich that will bear the brunt.
All right.
Let us not see the poor, because many people saying the poor, they ask themselves, how many poor people will even have as much as 1 million naira to transfer within themselves when we already consider them to be poor? So it is the people who have the millions to transfer, and most of them are the middle class, political class, economic class, military class, that we know that.
All right. So personally for you, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Personally for you, though, as an economist who has also contributed in no small measure to Nigeria's growth and development in one way or the other, would you envisage a reversal for this levy, or would you throw your weight behind it?
What I want is a review of the policy.
Okay.
Let's make the percentage of charges on millions of naira, not on thousands of naira.
Okay.
Because you know why people are saying the poor will benefit to pay the brunt, because they discover that from 1,000, 2,000 will pay 5 naira, 10 naira. But when we make it okay, the charges will be on the transfer from million naira upwards. Definitely, we have cut off the poor from paying such taxes or such charges. So nobody will say, okay, it is the poor that will get the brunt. But because we have made it so low that even the 1,000 naira will also be attracted. But when we not okay, the charges will be from a million naira upwards. The burden is on the rich of the society. So that's what I will ask for, because I knew how effective it is to have tax. Because for many years I've been asking that we need alternative source of revenue apart from food oil. Although taxing or charges is also one of them, but we also need more avenue. But as government has said, they want to be charging. But for me, let them put the charges on million naira upwards, not on thousands or 1,000 or 2,000 naira upwards.
Okay.
And again, we also need an effective transparency of those money when it's being collected.
Transparency.
But nobody can say, the thing is that we should not rule out taxing of charges in society. Yeah. Even people who are clamoring that, hey, up and down, most of them travel abroad, they travel to developing countries, they pay charges, they pay tax. So why is it that when it comes to Nigeria, they don't want to pay?
All right.
Because the thing is, before I let you go, the thing is this: if we allow this not to work, then the poor will continue to be rich. Then the rich will continue to be rich at the expense of the poor through this inequality that this has created. Because tax is to fight inequality in the society, but when it is not well administered, it creates a lot of gap. So it is that inequality to make it more better. Is why I suggested that it should be on a million naira upward, not on thousands of naira downward.
All right, Mr. Adefolarin Olamilekon, thank you for bringing your voice into the discourse. We most appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm excited to Aliud over there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lameleko.
Right.
It's like has been long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alrighty. This is what it is. Eagles 102.3 connecting people as well as talking about matters that concern the Nigerian populace. We still have our guest who is in the studio, is in the person of Mr. Yeshua Aliu. And yes, he's also, of course, been talking about this issue on the levy for cybercrime levy, and the importance to Nigerians. Well, let's just very quickly get onto the WhatsApp portal. But before we do so, might I also recognize you, Ozo Francis Namani. You say you're watching from Amagunze in Enugu State. Thank you so much. Good morning. It says my people in the studio. Feels good. Good morning to you once again. All right, so we see this one here. It says, good morning, sir. All right. Okay. All right. So he says, good morning, Sir UD. Good morning to you too. It says, your guest is only one-sided, analytical. Let this government tell Nigerians what they have been doing with all the tax charges on cash they have been collecting. As of today, nobody can be able to give an account of what they've collected. If this government wants money for cybersecurity, let it go to the central bank and collect from our services charges. No sensible government would want to take more from hard-earning money of Nigerian people, and then he goes on to saying this was the same excuses they gave when those taxes were imposed on Nigerians and nothing to show for it. Whosoever came up with this extortion on Nigerians should please withdraw it. Nigerians are suffering from double taxation, which is one reason she's having high inflation. Abbas, all the way from Duce, is having that conversation with us at the moment. Can we squeeze in this call and then take some voice notes, and we have your final thoughts? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you,
How are you?
Very fine, thank you.
I'm happy for you today.
Right.
You see, Nigeria does the wise small. We don't they coming out.
Okay.
If we can form for this lady now, boys our boys' house, if these people can hear this morning, where this, if I say our guest, the last speaker, our guest, if I say they support one side, he say even though they travel, that they pay. No, okay, they travel. The people that they are paying, they are using the money do better thing for them. Do road, do school, give them right, give them school, give them education, give them money. See, we are paying for Nigeria for darkness. We are not know what they are using the money do. Nigeria now, they are not say they will not pay. They will pay. But when they pay, make them know what they pay for. Make them know what they consume, what they are paying for.
Okay,
you cannot just they collect money from my hand.
Yes.
Money just they enter one account. We cannot know. Like back now they charge you. You don't know what the back they are using the money do for you.
All right, baby.
You don't know what they are using the school fees do for our children. You continue to pay. Are we pay for darkness?
Understood.
Let them do the
For once
needful.
of time, yes.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
All right, BB right there said it all. I mean, you've heard it. That's what Nigerians are saying as well. But just before we hear your voice on the matter, let us get onto the WhatsApp portal now and bring some messages to you. Take your messages just to ensure that everybody is captured in this discourse. Okay, so this one goes out now.
Good morning, Odwak. This is Temple. Odwak, the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria is so terrible now. This government just keeps taking and milking the citizens as if we don't have any hope of redemption. Are we not human beings or what? There is a limit to what can be taken. If you push somebody to the wall, the person cannot permeate into the wall. The person will rebound though. What is all this? You take from us in fuel subsidy. You've taken again in electricity tariff increase. Now, everything is on the increase in the market. I don't know whether these people go to the market at all. I don't blame them because the country feeds them and their families. They don't understand what other people are passing through. The country feeds every single expense they make. The country foods it, and they don't care anymore whether the masses survive or not. Now again, they have brought this levy again. The taxes they are collecting from people are not enough for them. They just keep taking and milking people. A lot of us are just in a condition that is just slightly below debt. If I will borrow in the language of Ansanoku, that is the truth about the matter now. Our society.
I cannot go further with you. I'm so sorry, but I appreciate there's a wish there was more time. But I just want our guests to give a wrap up, to all that has been said so far. If possible, I would prefer maybe in a couple of 30 seconds. Let's just see how we can address. I know there's a lot you want to say, but I mean, it's a conversation that is really trending, and it's a conversation that could elapse till the next day. But let's just get your thoughts.
These taxes are, these levies that are imposed, they are imposed at a time when Nigerians are not expecting any
that's right
levy or tax on them, because there is high inflation, there is low demand, there is also other challenges of the economy. However, taxes are very necessary to reduce our borrowings, and for development economies, cybersecurity is an avenue to generate new funds into the system. But the efficiency of that generated revenue should not be given to the Office of National Security Advisor, because of many reasons. The security advisor has multi-dimensional functions of security. Cybersecurity is securing money, and these monies are going to be used to develop the economy and to develop the GDP of the economy. So it is important to put structures on ground to make sure that Nigerians are trained, Nigerians' monies are protected, and are also victims of cybercrime are also compensated, because it is very necessary. If you are paying taxes, there is a return benefit to it. That is my point.
All right, that is it. And just to quickly squeeze this in, Honorable Edwards is saying, I want to inform our guests that nobody was asleep when the bill was sent to the National Assembly. The National Assembly refused to make that bill in the public because I did not see an invitation for public hearing, for any papers or even radio, not to talk of televisions. All right, they said thanks right there. Well, just to also let you know that, James, I see your message all the way from Suleja. Thank you. I cannot go into that, but thank you, do far too kind. I'm hoping that we would, with all of these points, we've been able to share some light, but I want to say thank you to you for adding